Hello, my name is Alex Davidson, I'm with the Hobby Quest, and today I'm going to be showing you the BambooCopter. The BambooCopter was invented around 400 BC in China. This started out as just like a play toy, something that they would use for fun, but it actually went on to inspire many other things after it. This is one of the more basic models. There are a lot of different ones that you launch it or anything. This one is just you grab it and you spin it. It's one of the most basic flying machines that's ever been invented. In fact, this is technically the first helicopter that's ever been made. This flies best outside. The reason for that is that we have a ceiling here and this likes to go straight up. If you have a really large gymnasium, you can use that as well. But one of the really wonderful things about this BambooCopter is that it can fly pretty much in any conditions. It doesn't matter what the wind is, it doesn't matter anything like that. You can take this, you can launch it, and it'll just go right up and it'll be awesome. So this is like almost any flying condition works for this. This is a half-day project, so this is going to be with a different plane for the hour session. So the tools for this are actually pretty simple. All we need are a set of markers. That's it. This is all we need in order to build this helicopter. So the way to do it is we get our package, and inside we're just going to find two things. We have the propeller and the stick. So all I have to do is put the propeller onto the table just like this. It's important to note that it doesn't matter which way this is put in. You can put it on in either direction. The stick, of course, either direction, it's a stick. So I can take this, put it right in like that. The best way to do this is to hold it very firmly and to press straight down. You don't want to put any angle on it or anything because that will snap the stick. So I'm going to push straight down. It's going to push it in just like that. And there we go. That's it. That's all you have to do to build it. Now there is one additional thing. The reason why we have the markers is because this is going to help out the kids. A lot of this project is mostly about learning how propellers work. So this is basically just a propeller on a stick. So the kids get a very, very hands-on idea of what works with the propeller. Now you'll notice that if you spin it in one direction, you'll be blowing your hands with the wind. In the other direction, if I hold it like this, I'm blowing my face. Now when we want to fly this, we of course want it to be pushing the air down. And to do that, it's going to spin in that direction. So all we have to do as the instructor is we just make an arrow on the stick saying which direction to turn it in. So for each kid I would go around, mark a little line, and then put an arrow on it, just like that. Something important to note, I've had that sometimes if you draw two arrows, one on that side and one on that side, the kids will actually get confused by it. It's best to just have one arrow on it, and that's it. Now, once this is put in here, the kids are able to color this however they like. I always tell the kids not to color this part because that's, the arrow telling us what direction to go in, but they can color all the rest of it, the top, the bottom, the sides of it, anything they like. So also it's important to use black for the arrow because if they do try to color over it, the black isn't going to be covered up by it. So one additional thing to note is that when you are putting these together, sometimes you can have a little bit of an issue with the kid not being able to quite push the stick in. Maybe it doesn't quite fit. One thing that you can use is the 3-second glue. You can just stick that in, put that on, and then that will keep it all in place. So that's one thing you could do in case that happens. Usually it shouldn't be a problem. You can usually fit the stick right in there. So now that you're ready to start flying these, I usually have the kids start out with just a bit of practice, just so they understand exactly how it works. You can actually even show them. If you imagine, of course they already have the arrow on it, but it's good for them to understand why it works this way. If you can imagine the wind moving over the blade of the helicopter right here, you can actually see that when it's moving in this direction, what it's going to be doing is grabbing the air up here and pushing it down to there. So that's going to be pushing it that way if I spin it in this direction. Of Of course, the other way is going to do the same thing. It's going to push air this way. You can see this part is lower, this part is higher, and if it's moving in that direction, it's going to be pushing the air up. This might seem a little obvious to us, but to the kids, this is not so obvious. So this is a really great teaching lesson for you to give them, because later on with the planes that we're going to do in the other sessions, they're going to be able to look at the propeller and just intuitively figure out, oh, it should spin in that direction because I can see that's the way that the blade is angled. So this is something that they can learn from. So when you're ready to start flying, it's usually good to have them start out small. Tell them not to go all out at first. Just give it a couple little tosses. Just take this and just spin it a little bit. You'll feel the air pushing on your hands when you move it in this direction. And then if they're feeling a little confident with it, they can go ahead and let it go. Like that. So I just did a light toss there, a very light one. And they can just do that. Once they get a bit more confident with it, what you can do is you can show them that you hold it as far out as possible. I'm holding this like with my hands as far away as they can. And then you're going to push as hard as you can, just like that. It's important that before they do that though, they're going to have to like notice that, But before we do that though, it's important to make sure the kids are flying it up and not, if they're flying it like that, it's going to hit them in the face. That's not good. So it's good to make sure that they understand that it goes up like that, and that should be good for teaching them how to fly it. Now, when you're outside and you've been doing this for a while, something to have a little fun with, once they've all gotten a lot of practice with this, of making it go, something you can do is ask them to stand far away from each other, make sure no one is immediately in the area, and you can actually show them that you can angle it like this and fly it towards someone else. Of course, it's important to note that they should not be doing this right next to someone. You should have at least about 20 feet of distance between the kids in order to do this. But once they're about that far apart, you can launch it like that, and you can actually pass this back and forth to each other. So I'm going to give this a launch real quick. I'm just going to try this out. I have a feeling it's going to hit the ceiling really fast, but I just want to demonstrate this. So here we go, ready? So I'm going to hold it like that, and as fast as I can, I'm going to move my hands like that. So here we go, ready? There we go. So that's the BambooCopter.